So next we're going to look at two categorical variables, and how we organize two categorical variables is through a contingency table. And how we visualize them is the same. We're using a bar chart and a donut chart. So it's the same way of visualizing them. So right now I'll show you what the contingency table looks like for two categorical variables. So in example 2, we have a contingency table. And how we know this is contingency table is because we have two categorical variables. We have one type of categorical variable in the row. We have small amount, medium amount, and large amount. So these are not numbers, so these are categorical variable. This is one type of categorical variable. And then in the column, we have the second type of categorical variables. We have no errors and errors. So that's the second type of categorical variables. When we have two types of categorical variable, this is how we organize the data in a contingency table. I won't show you how to create the bar chart and donut chart because we have done that in example 1. It's the same method. Now we're going to look at numerical variables. We have one numerical variable, and then we have two numerical variables. So first, we're going to look at one numerical variable, and I'll show you how we organize them. So how we organize them is through an array order, frequency distribution, and cumulative distributions. And we're going to go through example 4 right now, and I'll show you how to create a frequency distribution as well as a cumulative distribution using Excels. Example 4, we have a manufacturer of insulation randomly select 20 winter days and record the daily high temperatures. So we're the data here, and we need to complete this frequency distributions. So right now we're going to go back to the Excel file. So in the Excel file, you will see the data in column A. So we have the 20 days of temperature here. And the first step is to find the frequency for each of these range here. So we have between 10 and 20, 20 and 30, 30 and 40, 40 and 50, and 50 to 60. So we need to find out the frequency for each of these range. And what we're going to do is our first step, we're going to sort the data from smallest to largest. So we're going to highlight the data. So we're going to highlight the data set, and then we're going to right click. And then we're going to sort the data from smallest to largest. So again, highlight the data and then click sort, and then sort the data from smallest to largest. So once we have the data sorted from smallest to largest, so what we're going to do next is count them manually. So what we're looking for is numbers between 10s and 20s. What we know is that we have 3 numbers between 10s and 20s. So we just put a 3 in the frequency. Same for the 20s to 30. So we have 6 number between 20s to 30. So we highlight the data, we color coded them, and then we put the 6, we type that in. Same for 30 to 40. We highlight the data from 30 to 40. So we have 5 numbers, and then we color coded them so it's easier to read. And then we put a 5 for the frequency between 30 to 40, and then same for 40 to 50. We highlight the data, color coded it, and then we have 4 numbers between 40 to 50, and then we have 2 numbers between 50 to 60. So once we have the frequency, then we need to find out the total. So the total is your sum. So we're going to use the formula equal summation. So equal sum, open bracket. So equal sum is the formula that we're going to use. So we'll equal sum, open bracket. We highlight the data. So we highlight the data from E7 to E11. So we highlight the data set, E7 to E11, close the bracket, enter, and then Excel will calculate this for you. So you're going to have equal sum, E7 to E11, and Excel will add up all these numbers for you, and then you're going to get 20. So that's our total frequency. Once we have the total frequency, we're going to calculate the percentage, individual percentage. How we calculate the percentage is what we do is we take the 3, we take each of these number, we take the 3, 6, 5, 4, and 2, we take each of these number, and we divide it by the total, which is the 20. So what we're going to do is we take the 3, so equal 3, so 3 is E7, divided by 20. So 20 is E12. So this is the formula that we're going to set up. We're going to set it up once. And what you need to know is that Excel can replicate the formula for you. And what you need to know is that we can take advantage of Excel to help us replicate the formula. So it will save us the time. And how we can replicate the formula is that we're going to take each of these number and we're going to divide it by the denominator. So what we want to do is we want to lock in the denominator. And how we lock in the denominator is we press F4. So we press F4 and you'll see that there's a dollar sign in front of the E, a dollar sign in front of the 12. This is called absolute referencing. And basically what it does is that it locks in your denominator. So that when we replicate the formula, it will lock in the denominator. We don't want the denominator to change. We want the denominator to stay at the 20. So that's why we F4 it. So once we have the formula set up, once we have the F4, once we have the F4 locking in the denominator, we press enter and it'll give you the 15%. Once we have the 15%, once we have the formula set up once, what we're going to do is we're going to replicate the formula now. So how we replicate the formula is we go to the bottom right corner of the cell and you'll see the black cross. So once you hover over the bottom right corner of the cell, you'll see that there's a black cross. Once you see the black cross, you can hold on to your mouse and then you can just drag it down and Excel will replicate the formula for you. So now you'll see that you have the E7 divided by E12, so you have the 3 divided by 20. You have the E8 divided by E12, so you have the 6 divided by 20, so the 20 stay constant. And then you have the 5, E9 divided by E12, so the denominator stays constant. 4 divided by 20 because you have the E10 divided by E12, and then the denominator is constant because we locked it in, and so on. So the idea is you just need to set up the formula once, E7 divided by E12, and then you lock in the E12 because you want to lock in the denominator. Once you locked in the denominator, your formula is set up, then you just drag it down, bottom right corner, you see the black cross, you just drag it down, and you can replicate the formula, and then you're done. So that's for the percentage.